Yeah, so I've started the recording. So just to let you know, Anil sir, first of all, thank you so much for agreeing to do this workshop, which is the match management, which we have requested for the Leinster Union or in Cricket Ireland. Okay. Just to walk through the participants, whoever we have. As of now, what we have is we have all the members of Cricket Leinster, which basically have been certified either with level 1 and level 2 courses and are actively doing the cricket empires. I mean, actively participating in the matches officiated by Cricket Leinster. Okay. At the moment, what we do have couple of first class empires and international empires as well. I do have Jonathan Kennedy, who would be joining this call later. He is our current international umpire. We do have Alan Neil on this call, who is obviously one of our very senior member umpire for the Cricket Ireland. I do have apologies from a couple of members, so that I just want to make that noted. So Aidan Seaver sent his apologies, and so did Mark Hawthorne. Both of them are international umpires, and also Rory Black, who has worked with you in a couple of ICC tournaments as well. So he sent out apologies because I think tomorrow is a very big festival over here, which is the St. Patrick Day. So there is a surge of availability. So that's all for the members and the association which we have. What I've done is, and for the members who have joined the call, I have enabled the option, but I can at least make sure that you stop your videos. This is just to make sure that the respective Zoom session does not get affected by the internet and others aspect as such. Um, and if you have any questions, currently I have made sure that all of you are muted apart from few members. If you can send me your question on this chat, if you have any questions in going forward, what I'll do is I'll collect them and I'll keep an eye on it. And at the end of the session, what I'll do is I'll read out those questions, which maybe Anil sir can cover. Is that okay? Yeah. So that's it, Anil sir. Thank you so much, first of all, and very welcome to you. I know you are horribly busy with IPL preparation and other stuff, but over to you.
Hi everyone, Prashant. Thank you for inviting me, and it will be an interesting session. I'll cover match management, not all the points, some points. Then we'll be touching ball management and pace of play. I think these three aspects are very important in modern day cricket. And welcome all the participants, those who are listening to this live or those who will be listening later on. You can feel free to ask questions. Different conditions, different players, different country, they have different behavior. So management is a different kind of a skill which can change with the countries, those who are participating, because every country, every player, they have different kind of behavior, different temperament, and few words are good in India but not in good UK. Few words are good in UK but not in India. Maybe few are not good in South Africa but they are normal in Australia. So Asia, Europe, all these sectors, they have got different temperament, different languages, and different meaning for certain words. So what you say, when you say, and the selection of words are very, very important. And certain players, generally we prepare before the game, and we know which game we are going to do, and what are the characters, those who are participating, which are the key players. So if we consider that also, generally we have a pre-series meeting among all PCT members, and we make all those points, and we keep following previous series also, if it is bilateral, if it is a tournament, or maybe let it be a club game also, or a division game. So we do that and prepare accordingly, because individual can be different with the different kind of match. Like if you're playing a knockout game, they can behave differently. It's a normal league game, they can behave differently. And same team, same players, when they play knockout game, they can behave totally in a different manner. So all these things, understanding of the game, very, very important. So all good umpires, they assess situation, what is coming next, what can happen after 5 overs, what can happen in next game, what these two players are behaving with each other, maybe a bowler versus batsman or a batsman versus bowler. Generally, what I have observed, the same kind of play like left arm spinner of A team and left arm spinner of B team, they will they will come on each other differently. Same with opener to opener, fast bowler to fast bowler. So it keeps changing. So all good umpires should be fully aware what is coming to them. So that pre-match meetings preparation are very, very important. All those meetings are they set the tone for the series or the match. The next topic is in management. Sometime you assess the things, but it is not good to intervene immediately. But at the same time, you need to intervene some certain situation. Unless you intervene, you go physically there, and you handle players. It can flare up after 2-3 overs. So that understanding you learn by doing matches, because it's a skill which you learn over the period. You will get few points in book, but unless you do it practically on the field of play, you don't understand those things. Excessive appealing, time wasting, all these cases, you know that it is coming if you understand the game. So match management is a skill which is different with different players and different with different PCT also. Same scenario, different PCT can handle differently, and maybe in other situation you can't compare two scenarios at one given time. Sometimes what happens, generally we deal with captains in a tense situation where players are about to fight or the match is going very like players are about to fight each other, or there is a situation where you need to control them. So our idea before all these matches, series, or whatever tournament you're doing, we sit and we select key players. Like if I know 4 players, the other umpire know 3 players, so just maintain a working relationship with them. Because what happens sometime, generally we deal with captain, but captain himself is involved. Then what to do? Which is a very common scenario most of the time. And especially when your captain is a bowler, so then who will control the match? So that particular time, those key players, leading players of every team, since you have working relations with them, they help you, because eye contact, maybe whatever, sometimes bowler is appealing, but it is not good to intervene immediately. Let him come read the over, or maybe you go to the captain, don't go to the bowler, and you can handle that. Because sometimes heat of the moment, if you react immediately, it can lead to something which is difficult to control later on. And whatever you do, ultimately, if something has gone beyond your guidelines, then you have to go for code of conduct. These are the few things which are very, very important. Any questions related to this? Like if I missed any point or you want to add something which I can answer, Prashant, someone want to come on this?
Yeah,
We
so
should
for
not.
example,
Yeah.
I'll wait for the questions to come on this, but we also follow the same aspect over here. So what we do is we do have pre-season workshops over here where we walk through all the regulations for the different leagues and structure, whatever we have. The same happens with the cricket Ireland as well, in the form of pre-season workshop where we meet and try to understand what mitigation we can do in terms of the rules and regulation and keep an eye on it. It also gives the members the aspect of how the different law 42 are interpreted, and if there is any additional delta which has been added on top of the existing rules and laws from the respective organization perspective, just to add more control over it as such. Yeah.
One more thing we can do, like generally before a tournament or before a series or before a whatever your club matches are, we make a WhatsApp group, and we keep circulating among each other that if this particular player is every match he is after completing the overs he is going out. So we keep sharing that information, which helps for the next PC to handle that particular player or particular team. So that is another aspect of management where we can act collectively, and the very important thing is consistently, because one PCT behave in different manner, other PCT behave in different manner with that particular case. So there is another aspect which you can start if you're not started. Make a WhatsApp group and keep sharing your after every game you can have payment stones where you can put important points. But remember, all these points should not be too many, just important things. It's very difficult to read everything, and people are writing food is not good, the sitting area was not good. Not those things. In those WhatsApp group, just mention if something related to ground weather light or players' behavior, or anything which is related to match. So maybe ball, maybe side screen. So all those information you can make a WhatsApp group and circulate among each other. It will help like anything. Have you started that, or you are already thinking about this, Prashant?
So basically, what I'll do cover is from the local Leinster unit what we follow, right? So if you see over here, what we do have is we do report all the incident on the match. There's a disciplinary report which goes in as per the standard to the secretary, and then it gets reported to the Cricket Leinster. I would say more or less the same protocol falls for Cricket Ireland as well. Um, at the Leinster level, we don't have the option of controlling and sharing those nitty-gritties on the WhatsApp group. That is also governed because Europe do come under this GDPR, so I'm not sure whether that would be possible over here. But point taken, what I'll do is I'll take this option and touch base with the committee to see if there is something which we can start or not. I
Prashant, I think, yeah, Prashant, sorry to intervene.
Yeah,
You're talking where code of conduct is required. I'm saying
yeah.
few things which are within control, but still they are like touch and go, where we can share our knowledge. Like this player, after completing overs, every game is going out and taking undue advantage, which we need to monitor. That kind of thing, where any particular ground sunlight is coming from particular angle which is
Okay,
reflecting in eyes of slip players, those kind of things. It is
okay.
not about sharing sensitive issues like you're talking about some action. Don't put on WhatsApp group because it will go to anyone, but things which are within the guideline but touch and go. They can go beyond if you're not monitoring, because it is to maintain consistency. So then
Okay.
if things are consistent, then teams are more comfortable. They're aware that the umpires are following this kind of formula for substitute or for other things. It is not about where we need to apply code of conduct. These are the things which are extra informations which can help in conducting and management issues.
Understood. No, makes sense. I got the point. What
Never,
I
never
do,
put
yeah,
never put points like someone is bowling action, because it will pass to others, which can backfire. So those things you don't share. Other things like which are minor things but can become major if you don't control.
makes sense. Yeah. What I'll do is I'll just take a couple of questions which has come up on this chat.
Please,
Okay.
please.
So this is from one of the president of the LCSA, which is on this call, Derek. He's saying there is a concern of preemptive circulation of information formally on a group, which informed by word of mouth, which is absolutely fine, which we have just covered. The other question which we have, as since you mentioned identification of the key players, right? So is that, do you communicate with them before the match, or it is just about communicating about the player amongst umpires only? That's it.
No, it is like we keep meeting players on and off. It is like not only on the field, off the field also. Like we are having breakfast, sometime traveling, maybe after completing a game. So just find out these are the key players and just have a working relationship. Remember, this is very sensitive. It should not go beyond. It should not be less. It should not be more. But generally, we know these are the main players of this team. So just hi, hello, talking about their family, talking about their travel schedule, how is their stay, things like that, so that at least you have some communication with them. And maybe someone has played a good inning in previous match, you can always meet in the morning and say, well done boy, good batting you have done, I got a lot of good things about you, and good that you're doing well, best wishes to you, something like that.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. One more question before I let you go forward is basically you did touch base on the different languages and dialect and other stuff, right? And the same would happen whether it is in India and other where you are doing matches for different countries and different players I mean teams or matches involving different players, right? So sometimes you're not 100% sure on the dialect in terms of what language is getting used and what not, and you're not able to identify those things. But you can sense there is something which is burning up or something which is getting triggered out. So what is the best way, or like how do you control those kind of situations?
I think teamwork will help here, because generally we have 2 3 umpires.
Yeah.
One of them is at least aware about that particular team or particular disease and or behavior of such players. So I think in that particular game, let one guy take the lead who is more closer, and the other guy should support him. We have a team. We are generally two minimum
Correct.
umpires. Sometime if TV, then three, fourth umpire also. So I think we need to identify that this umpire is more closer to this area. So let him take the initiative today, and the other guy should support. That can help.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. So I don't think I have any other question, at least on this particular slide as such. I think we can move forward.
Uh, okay. The next is to handle all these things. You got to be firm. We can't be goody goody with everyone, but polite, because few gestures are very bad, like showing finger or saying player, hey, you come here, or talking in a manner which is not respectful. So that language is very important, because generally what happens during a game, during a 7-hour play, which is average time, we hardly speak to players. But when we speak, those words should be very, very specific. Those words are very, very important. What you say, because they get your perception, they create about your umpiring or your PCT, that okay, this PCT is like this. So those selection of words are very important. So use them politely, but at the same time you should look firm also. So that is also an art which you learn over the period by doing matches of variable conditions, different players, different teams. Use firm communication, but of course it should back with your uh, consistent decision making also. As I said earlier also, sometime it is heat of the moment, so it's not ideal to answer immediately. Maybe you can delay for 2 3 balls, or maybe after that over, or you communicate with captain, not communicating with the bowler, because sometimes the bowler is not happy with your call, which is very normal in umpiring. It happens on and off, and we should delay that kind of discussion, and find out someone who is slightly in better in behavior, or maybe you both come together and talk to captain and say that we are not happy about this. And generally I've seen, if you guys are consistent as umpiring unit, those players, those who are not happy that particular time, they come after 2 3 hours and they say sorry, sorry umpire. So that's how we can handle that. And when they're saying something, listen it, give some time, and look into eyes, and that can be a good idea of respecting them. But don't delay those discussions. Maybe if you listen someone and then you answer, I think he will feel that he is respected, and that's a ideal idea of handling the situation. And your body language is very, very important. Your eye contact, the way you're talking, your hand gestures, your shoulders, and talking slow but firmly to players. It all shows a confidence that is also very important. All because all these players, they come in you in a group, and you are only two. So that time the body language and the way you answer, your politeness, your selection of words is very, very important. So that you need to develop. It will help you in handling all these situations. Any question on this? Any particular incident where someone has done something, or could have been done better, or we can pick up something from him or her, because every situation is different and every individual is different, and all these things we learn from each other. But these are the basic process and practice which we use in all kind of matches. Any questions, Prashant, on this?
Not yet, but for example, yes, we do see these type of situation as you mentioned over here. For example, um, personally for myself as well, we are doing couple of matches, and one of the bowlers did complain about the wides because he was under the impression of profiling wides, which was on a separate regulation. So, and he did came up to me like after a couple of overs and said, "Yes, I'm really sorry. I just missed the regulation for this competition." What I'll do is I'll let Ellen go ahead, and I'll then take a couple of other questions which are there on the chat. Yeah, sorry, Ellen, go ahead, please.
Well, thank you very much,
I
Eddie,
don't
for
think
giving up your time. My name's Alan. I agree entirely with what you've got on the screen there at the moment. Polite and firm. I would maybe add into that maybe early intervention if possible. You know,
Sorry, can you repeat that? I could not hear you properly. Are you listening me
sorry,
properly? Are you getting me?
polite and firm approach you have on the screen, which I totally agree with. But I'd also think it would add to that early intervention if possible.
Yeah. So what the question was, Anil sir, was that you've already mentioned that it should be firm and clear communication,
Yes.
and what Ellen mentioned was try to do an as early intervention as possible so that we don't reach to a point where things become very tricky to handle.
I think you are correct, and act collectively. If you both are coming together and talking to them in a firm manner, it will help, because if one umpire is talking, other umpire is watching, that can lead to poor teamwork. So I think when you talk together and then answer together in a collective manner, that will have more impact, and it will create a good perception about your umpiring as a unit. Because remember, it is not one umpire, it is always umpires, so that will help.
Yeah.
And you rightly answer that, intervening early, assessing early the situation, understanding what is coming next will help. Because if you delay things, then it will be difficult to handle those players, because it will be more like it will be worst if you delay it. So intervening early is good, but intervene collectively, come together and then act. It
Yeah.
will help.
I'll take one more question quickly on this. There's a question from Satish, and he mentioned that how to handle the scenario where we are doing a post-match discussion with a couple of umpires, and obviously there's one losing side captain and who is not so welcoming to the discussions. So, how to handle those kind of situations?
I think what happened in all these post-match meetings. Decision making always, and losing captains are totally in a different manner. They will talk to you in a different, because they think everything is, they got this call wrongly. That's why they lost. So I lost. I think those who are handling, they should answer on behavior and other things. And if there is a mistake, I think accept it. Acceptance is a very very good aspect. Why not? You say, okay, I thought this way, but you may be right. But don't say that you're right. You can say, okay, that's your opinion, this is my opinion, and I've done things with best of my ability and best of the whatever I got practically. So accept it. If something is, later on that it was totally wrong, accept it. Why not? Because if you accept, your image will be different among players, because you circulate very quickly that particular umpire is very honest, and no harm in accepting. But use the words like, okay, that was my opinion. I respect your opinion as well, and opinion can differ. Something like that. I
Okay.
know this can happen in a post-match debrief or brief, whatever discussion you have. We started in India, but we have stopped, because Indians are more emotional. So it led to a lot of arguments, which we have stopped now, because
Okay.
they can report in writing, and that will go to the BCCI or referee. We have stopped that. We started that, but we have stopped it, because it was leading to it was not smooth, I should
Okay.
say.
So we have completed. So just to get my point, so you guys have stopped any post-match discussions with the
Yes, we have
captains.
stopped in India.
Okay, okay, okay. No problem. Got it. That's it. For this slide, I don't have any other questions. If you can move ahead, please. Thank you.
Now the next is, which is related to again match management, ball management, which is very very important, because if you have proper monitoring of ball, you will have a fair play, because a lot of fast bowlers, spinners also, they keep doing few things with the ball in name of maintaining the ball. So that art you need to know. But the problem is, like, if someone is going behind you, you are a bowler and umpire, you can't watch it. Then, as a good art of umpiring, the other umpire who is standing at square leg, striker's end, he should monitor that. And okay, you are monitoring, but make sure the players are watching that you are monitoring. That will have more impact, because all these players do, those who do things with the ball, they also keep watching you. And if you are visible that you are watching it, then they don't do it. So just, I can assure you, if they're not, if they know that you're watching, they will not do it. So umpiring umpire should know when ball is behind the bowler umpire, and if bowler's umpire can watch things in front, of course he should. And keep checking the ball after every boundary 6, so that you have frequent look at the ball and you know the condition. And if something happens, notify to each other like umpires, okay, this mark has come because of this boundary, so that you know something is going on. And regular and inspection of the ball is ideal to do. And the main thing, which is, the player should be aware that you're watching the ball, because once they get this information that you're keeping an eye on the ball on regular basis, they will not do it. But still, a lot of things you can't catch live. You can only, like, on field, you can't catch everything, because few angles are very difficult, and expert people, they do it like very wisely. And just remember, if a ball is going to one particular player or two particular player every time, you got to be careful why the ball is going. And suddenly, for example, you are in 30th over and ball has started moving suddenly. So just have a look. Just make sure when you are having a look, players are watching. But at the same time, don't blame any player, because this is a very serious offense nowadays. Those words which you are using are very, very important. For example, if you feel that something is done with the ball, but you don't have any evidence, because this is very serious offense. And if you don't have any evidence, how to control it then? So both the umpires should come together. They should talk to the player. Gentlemen, we are not happy with the ball. We are not blaming you, but we are watching it. Of course, the player will say, no, no, sir, we are not doing. Okay, we are not saying you're doing anything with the ball, but yes, we are watching it. That's it. Because if you're saying you're doing tampering, then they will come on you that, okay, show us the evidence, which is, unless it's a televised game and TV umpire has given you something, it's difficult to prove and it can backfire on umpires. So maybe you can use correct words. You can say, okay, we are not blaming you, but we are watching the ball.
Yeah.
We are watching, so careful, something like that. Because televised games are different, non-televised games are different. So different technique in different games. If it is a televised game, the work is done by TV umpire, and you have evidence, and you follow the law and do the code and other changes of ball and all other things. But non-televised games, you need to do few things which are not in book, but collectively you can monitor, and you can make sure that players are aware that you are monitoring the ball. Any question on this? Any
Yeah.
case? Any particular case?
What I would say is, I'll just add one thing from our perspective over here from the last couple of years, what we have started with the guidance of our international panel umpires as well, which are following across Cricket Ireland, is we ensure that once the ball is played and till the time the bowlers is up to the mark for delivering of his or entering into his run up, we ensure that we keep an eye on the ball with, even though if it is moving from one player to another, just to make sure that we are watching it and we ensure that the players are absolutely intact in terms of, okay, we are getting watched by the umpires. As you mentioned, for the non-televised matches it is difficult, but we are following a method, say in the similar regards, where we keep an eye on the ball on each and every delivery until unless it goes to the bowler's hand where he starts his run up. So that's one thing. The other thing is like, the question would be, now in terms of the ball management, right? Um, there is a there's a bigger, I mean, I would say these days there's a process where the ball is getting bounced a couple of times or two times or three times whenever it goes to the outfield, right? So how to handle those type of situation, a scenario where people are kind of, or the fielders are deliberately bouncing the balls when throwing back to the keepers, or the or when the fielding side are just deliberately bouncing more than it should be.
Good question, Prashant. It's a practice nowadays. Unless you control it, they keep doing it. So what we do in pre-match meeting or pre-series meeting, we say that within the 30 yard, you don't give one bounce also unless there is chance of run out. And if you're at the boundary, it should not be more than twice or maybe once only. So that thing consistently we do it. If someone is doing, we do it openly, that umpire is not happy, keep doing that. And not only that, sometimes players from boundary line, they deliberately throw the ball on the pitch, and
Yeah.
then that is a kind of manipulating the condition of the ball. So there also umpire need to intervene. They should do it openly. They should make sure that umpires are not happy with this and make it visible. Talk to captain if you do it frequently, and then don't allow it. This is a new technique which players are doing nowadays. They throw it from boundary and they throw it the pitch,
Yeah.
where so because that area is harder, and then it have more impact on the ball, and it's kind of manipulation. So you need to intervene in that, and then make sure when you're talking together, everyone should be aware that umpire is not happy with this, and make it visible that umpire is not happy.
Okay. I do have one question from a fellow Empire Gaurav. I'll just read out the question. So it is, there can be times when a ball can be damaged a bit after hitting something outside the boundary. The ball might still pass the hoop test, but the damage might be significant, which might cause the movement. I mean, the ball might start swinging as such, right? So in this scenario, what should we do? And if you could share example where you have changed the ball proactively, even though it has passed the hoop test, and how did you handle the situation?
Prashant, when you are using the that ring for the
Yeah.
shape of the ball, that is totally different. So don't compare that ball is correct as per ring. If there is a good mark or cut off seam, then
Mm.
we can collectively you can see the condition. We can change it. We have done it number of times
Okay.
because there can be certain mark or cut on the ball which can lead to friction, which will give you reverse swing or extra swing. So you can always change it. Ring is to just to see the shape, not
Yeah.
the full condition of the ball. You can doing it without using ring also, and you can change it. Why not?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. Yeah, I think we are good on this one. Then I don't have any other follow-up questions from anyone.
Uh, and the last thing, which is very, very important nowadays, and all these televised games, all these commentators, they are behind umpires. That's why the pace of play is slow. Although we keep telling them, we keep pushing them, it is always players to manage, but ultimately it comes on umpires. So we can do few things which can help. Still, players have to do. We can only make few protocols where we can push them. Like, it's a very important point. I don't know how many follow it. Your own pace as umpires, if we walk slow or we are not ready at the bowler's end or square leg or striker end, what you say, that players are waiting, that is very bad. So, first of all, work your own pace. You should be ready all the time. If umpires are ready all the time, it is an indirect pressure on players to be ready on time. So just work on this. If you're working on this is very good technique. And then lot of umpires, they have no idea about this, that your own pace can affect the pace of play, right? And of course, we keep telling them about regular updates that you are behind, especially when some team is behind in over it. We are more frequent to inform them. Use your fourth umpire if you have. Send them to dugout, because when you are going to find them, they will come, no sir, that happened, ball came from that boundary, it took time. So keep pushing them, keep telling them that you guys are behind. And very important, maintain your log. Every time when you inform the captain or dugout or team or whatever coach manager you have, please make a note of it, that over number this, ball number this, your team was informed about over rate, that you're 2 down or 3 down, whatever it is. So your log are very, very important, because when you are coding them, those logs are your evidence. So make sure you are doing that, and inform dugouts every time, inform manager, coach, whatever they have, so that whatever you're saying inside, it is going outside to the management also. So during fine or code, they can't argue. They are already ready for that. No surprises for them. They should be aware that okay, they are slow. Umpires can find them. And as I said, dugout is the area where you can tell them, so that not players who are participating inside, those who are outside, they're also aware their team is behind. And keep a proper log. These are the few things. Keep talking to batters. If batters are taking more time, give message to their team, give message to the batting dugout that you guys are slow. So we'll not give this time to you. We'll deduct while you're bowling, which is protocol as per law also. So keep pushing batters also, because batters sometimes they waste a lot of time. And when you are giving allowances, make sure sometime stoppage because of batter can stop the tempo of fielding side. So you got to be careful about that. So give them allowances. Every ball inspection, every six boundary, that is also important, because lot of umpires, they're very harsh. They give very less time. So generally what we do, if it is 40 seconds, we give 1 minute sometime. And if it is like 20 seconds, 22 seconds, 27 seconds, we give 30 seconds. So that's the idea how we give allowances. Because what happened, you are okay, you're using a stopwatch, but remember, when teams go back and start, it takes another few seconds to restart the game, because tempo is not there. So that allowances part is very important. You log are very, very important. And these are few things we can do. And pace of play is a very, very important thing in modern day cricket, because everything is on TV, and little extra time is money. So there's a lot of emphasis on pace of play nowadays. So any question on this?
I do have Alan who wanted to add something. So Alan, if you can please go ahead. I saw your
Yeah,
raised hand.
totally
Yes,
agree with
Alan.
everything you said there, Angel. Yes, indeed. In our lower leagues of cricket, obviously we don't have fourth umpires, etc. But what we try to encourage through education is that the two umpires be in place to give guard as the new batter crosses the 30-yard circle. It's a habit we try to get our new umpires get into.
That's very good, very good, Alan. And this pace of play, not only this nowadays with this timeout thing also. Anyway, you need to push them, so it is another problem because people are appealing for timeout also. Both are correlated. And if some team is doing frequently, then give some extra time to bowling side. You can always put a column delay by batsman where you can put all this, and there can be a lot of other delays, screen and also give full allowances. But yes, communication with concerned team is very important. If you're communicating them, so they're ready if they're down, because they should not get any surprise. Oh sir, we are behind. So that is very important. And but see, it's a process, ongoing process. Still, players have to do it, but we have to push them whatever means we have. And these are the few protocols which we follow, and nothing new in it. But again, it has to be frequently done. And I think important point is the top one. Your own pace is also very important. If you are ready every time, then it is indirect pressure on fielding side. Okay, get ready, umpires are ready.
Yeah. I'll just wait for a second. I see someone writing just in case if there is any more questions coming up. Okay. So now for this workshop, what I would say is I do have a couple of questions. So let me quickly go through that if you have
Yes,
some time, answer. Basically, now, obviously, there are a few aspects which are covered in the presentation which we can incorporate. But just from the routine perspective, do you think is there a couple of pointers or anything which we can add for having a better man and match management, which we are doing? Which we can definitely add compulsory to our routines when we are preparing ourselves to do a cricket match as an official.
I think pre-match meetings, pre-season meetings are very important, where we get idea, concerned teams, kind of competition is this, senior players are playing or junior players are playing. Because what happens sometimes, junior players, they're not aware with the laws and playing conditions, so they want to do good, but they are not aware what to do. Like, they will come without bibs or different kind of shoes, logo issues. So all these issues are, we sort it out. We should have a good pre-series or pre-match meeting and agree on something which is not in black and white. There are always certain issues in playing conditions where things are not very clear. So agree on them. And when there is an argument, you can always say as umpires, gentlemen, we agree on this. So, that argument will be over, because there will be certain points we need to agree before the game and use that sentence. Gentlemen, we agree for this. So that's why we are doing this.
Okay. The other would be like now in your vast experience, whether it is within matches within the BCCI or even the international career, like is there any incident which you want to walk through us which was difficult in terms of match management and how it was handled? Just to give us an example from your perspective.
Like we did a game, it was, I think, IPL game, and where Pollard and Bravo both were playing, and there was some World Cup selection is done already, and one was in the team and one was not in the team. So myself, Roshan Mahanama, and other umpire, we had a meeting. We discussed that these two players are good friends, but today the scenario is different. There can be a scenario which we need to handle, and it happened in the match. I think Pollard was batting, Bravo, went to him, and they had a body contact. We intervened. We went there quickly, but still, since they have done it, so we coded it. So something which we knew, and we tried to stop it, but still we could not do it because it was so quick. So those kind of preparation help. So it was an incident which I'm telling you, because suddenly two friends can fight also inside, because when they're playing it heat of the moment, they certainly they're into their team, and it can backfire whatever friendship they have. But in certain scenario, they can behave differently. We need to be careful about this. So this was the incident which we prepared, we did everything, but still we had to code them. But we reprimanded them because it was almost like just a touch, but no push. So but still we coded them, because we wanted to set a standard that things should not be done like this. But we were
Okay.
prepared, so we are slightly in better position.
Okay, so I will take a couple of questions quickly. So basically, if we do have a situation where there's a left hand and right hand combination batting, right? So in terms of the umpire who is at the striker's end, what is advisable whether they should move position from adjusting based on the left hand and the right hand batsman, or should they just stay at one place just to
What? Uh,
save
yeah,
time?
it's a practical issue. What we do normally on a fast bowler, we change, but on spinner we don't, because then again, as I said, in pace of play, our own pace can affect the game. So stand at whatever side suits you, and keep informing players, because batsmen should not be confused that one extra player is there. So no harm in staying at and law also, it is striker and umpire is never square leg umpire. But yes, if you're moving, you are helping players about onside and offside. But spinners generally we don't move. Fast bowlers we move, and it look good if you move.
Yeah,
But
basically.
spinners you can avoid, because it will waste time for fielding side.
Correct. Over here, what we follow is like it's the same thing. Fast bowler as long as the keeper is up to the stumps, we don't move our position. We stay wherever we were based on the last batsman who was on strike. And if the keeper is standing behind, then we try to move position from for left hand and right hand batsman. I do know that from the Cricket Ireland perspective, also they are planning to work out a process where we literally don't have to change even for the fast bowler. But that is something work in progress for the time being, as of now. Um,
I think
the
you're doing correctly. No, no, no,
yeah.
nothing to add in this.
Correct. Now, say for example, I will take one question from Alan. It's like, what advice would you give for a new umpire with aspiration to officiating at the highest level?
Uh, First of all, they should have a good knowledge of playing condition, the format which they are doing, and I have always advised everyone they should do more matches, and they should do matches in variable conditions, every age group, Sunday games, competitive games. So more practice, because okay, nets and all can help you, but I think nothing like match practice. They should do more practice, and they should be aware which format they are doing, because if they are doing T20 and one day, they should have a broad vision where they can see wides and everything at one given time. But if there are multiple day game where leg before and other things are involved, they should focus on grid. And every format is different. They should sit with senior guys, those who have done this job, uh, and they have experience, because you get a lot of ready-made informations. And I think enjoy, because you should love the game. Unless you are passionate about the job, you will not do good. And there is very little difference between good and excellent. So try to achieve those finer points. And my idea is always to do more games, because nothing like match practice.
Okay, thank you. I would wait for other question, but I do have one last question from my side. Is I mean, based on the earlier participants as well. Like, um, obviously, there will be some days where you had a pretty rough day, whether it is from decision perspective or how the match went in and what all. Maybe we just had a bad day itself, right? So how we can actually make sure that we pick ourselves to go ahead and perform in a better way for the next match or prepare ourselves for the next match rather than not getting bogged down from the previous matches and some bad decisions or something which went out of control kind of thing.
We all umpires, we do this, and it is about bouncing back. If you're umpiring, it is bound to happen, maybe more for some and less for some, but it is bound to happen. I think in every profession, the best thing is to remember good things. And just when we think that we are doing 100% or we can do 100%, I think we are putting extra pressure on ourselves. We should not try to do 100%. We should try to reach to perfection. No one is 100%. When you're thinking that we are 100%, we are making a mistake. Then we are not working hard, we are working very hard. If you try to work very hard, the muscles are tight, we don't do normally. And then I think the best way of bouncing back is remember your good games and accept your mistake. Once you accept your mistake, you will move forward. Accept your mistake, move forward, try to look into your technique, what you missed, and just come back with basics in batting, in bowling, in umpiring also. When you're missing everything, you are not in your best of form. I think go to basics, ball by ball, one given time, and you got to be a little bit thick skin also, because umpiring is a job where you got to be thick skin, because you are bound to make mistakes. So just few things. Remember your good games. Accept your mistake. You accept your mistake. You move forward, and then follow the basics. One ball at a time. Very easy to say, but it's the only way to do it. The problem is, this is the only way to do it. That's it from my side.
Okay. I will just take one more last question. I'm so sorry, it just came up, popped up,
Yes,
and
please.
this is slightly different, so that's why I want to pick it up. It mentions like, do you follow any specific communication or agreement for communication with the scorer for any sort of these aspect? I mean, not
We
about a normal meetup and all, which we normally anyways do, or signals and all, but just from this perspective.
not with the scorer, but between two umpires, we always signal. And personally, what I do when I'm in doubt, I just use my radio and ask the scorer. And even if the scorer is not answering, I delay my departure from the stumps. So I just remain there, keep looking here and there, so that scorer also get time, and he can confirm me. But don't rush through. I think safer is better than sorry. Please ask the scorer. No harm in that, because nowadays extra ball or less ball can change the result. The game is so competitive, especially with limited over matches. Every ball is important. So delay your departure. Ask the scorer. Use your radio, or ask your colleague. So as I said, safer is better than sorry.
Yeah, that's it. I don't think I have any other questions. So what I'll do is thank you so much once again, Anil sir, to taking the time and running a small workshop for us. I hope this session was beneficial for our members. And once again, thank you.
Thank you, Prashant, for inviting me. And the good thing in umpiring is we know each and everything. But the problem, it is not about talent, technique, or timing. It is about how to execute it under pressure. So those who remain normal under pressure, they are better umpires. We all signal in same way: boundary, six, out, leg bye. But when you are under pressure, that is better umpires you can judge. And I think, as I said, when you are under pressure, just go to basics. Remember your good things, and just remember, you are there because you know the job, and no one is 100%. So don't prepare yourself that you can do 100%. But yes, try to do your best every time, consistently.
Okay.
Thank you, Prashant.
Thank you.
Enjoyed.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you.
See you soon. Yeah. Bye bye. Good night.